Hi guys, welcome to the latest episode of Cricket Draft Insight. Today I'd like to share with you my squad for the One Day Cup. Let's get straight into it with the batting lineup. So I've got Rob Yates to start with, did really well in the county championship a few years ago, struggled last season I think, but he's bounced back this season, recently hit a double hundred in the county championship. I think it was 450s in a row in the T20 Blast, did well in the One Day Cup last year, chips in with the ball nowadays too. So Rob Yates is going to lead my batting lineup. And alongside him, I've got Kieran Carlson, who I've had in my county championship squad recently. Really capable batter. Obviously, some of these lineups we expect to be a little bit weakened. Obviously, we're going to identify some talented players, but somebody like Carlson, who isn't in the 100, you'd like to think could do well. And another one I'm optimistic can contribute with the ball a bit as well. And then I've got Graham Clark as well, who I've had around my squad. Batting really well for Durham this year, back in the county championship after a year or two out. Got some runs in the T20 Blast as well. I think he's got 100 in each format. Absolutely tore it up a couple of years ago in the One Day Cup. So Rob Yates, Kieran Carlson and Graham Clark. Very much subject to change, admittedly, at this stage. We'll see what happens with the lineups on the opening day. But I'd like to think the three of those will be playing. And that's my batting lineup as it stands. In the all-rounder role, some more regulars from my county championship 11. So Rob Keogh, I've mentioned before, list day bowling average of about 70, but I'm optimistic he's going to bring that down. This is a competition in which I think he should do really well. And I've got Brian Higgins as well, who at the moment isn't set to be part of the 100. Finished the T20 Blast really well with the bat, really consistent, particularly with the ball in the county championship. Again, I just expect him to excel in this competition. I've also got Matthew Waite, who's been in my county championship squad. He's got a good record actually, and though he didn't feature too much in the T20 Blast, he's done well in the county championship. I expect some runs and wickets from him. And the other one I've snuck in is Ben Green, who I think I did eventually get into my T20 Blast squad. Eventually, obviously, he did really well in that competition. Hasn't been playing first-class cricket recently, but he's in there. So Rob Keogh, Brian Higgins, Matthew Waite and Ben Green. And I'm looking at Higgins and Green, maybe Keogh, sort of captain, vice-captain material. But we'll have a specific look at the fixtures as well and how many teams are playing once or twice. Wicket keeper, I've got Johnny Tattersall of Yorkshire. And then cunningly, I've actually got Harry Duke on the bench. So two Yorkshire wicket keepers. I mean, I'm optimistic they'll both play, but I wondered if Duke might come in. Tattersall, one plays the keeper, one as a batter. But they're both in my squad. Then on the bowling front, Tom Smith from my T20 Blast squad. I mean, his bowling average in one-day cricket is 40-ish, but he can bat too. He did really well in the Blast. I'm confident that he'll do well and help sort of lead a slightly inexperienced Gloucestershire side. And then at the moment, I'm going for Ben Coad and Jack White. Now we'll see if they play. But Ben Coad and Jack White have been very keen on in the county championship. Haven't managed to get White in. Finally got Coad in. And if I don't pick them, they do well. So at the moment, I'm looking at them. So that's a starting 11 as it stands with Rob Yates, Kieran Carlson, Graham Clark, Rob Keogh, Ryan Higgins, Ben Green and Matthew Waite, Johnny Tattersall behind the stumps, Tom Smith, Ben Coad and Jack White. Then Harry Duke on the bench, as well as Zainul Hassan, Cameron Steele, a useful one. I think I've got him on the bench. I'm optimistic he's going to play chip in with bat and ball. And Manraj Johal. He didn't play last year, I don't think, but he did very well the year before and has been doing well in the second 11. So that's my squad. I think that's a really competitive squad, but we know it's a bit of a lottery. The starting 11s come the opening day, so we'll see what happens. I mentioned how in the T20 Blast I didn't pick Daniel Sams in the first week because Essex didn't play, and some teams played twice, maybe even three times. We were playing three times in that game. And then I had sliding doors moments week 2, week 3. I was like, should have put Daniel Sams in. Don't spend 50 points to put Daniel Sams in. Don't let week 1 derail you. If the fixtures are set up in a way that somebody doesn't play the first week, you want them in your team. Get them in your team. Okay? Don't do what I did in the Blast. and just be regretting not having anybody. Same with Ben Green. I tweeted about Ben Green before the blast. I didn't pick him. He was cheap. I still didn't pick him, and I still didn't pick him. Okay? I'm confident this side can do well from the offset, but we might have to make changes quickly if we identify that players are doing well. It's been interesting to hear some of the names that some of you guys are keen to select, and I really hope that you do well. Probably won't hear much from me for a week or two. Well, you probably will, even if I'm on holiday and I can get that internet connection. It's quite an old house, and get the internet connection to work. I'm sure I'll be tweeting away and following the scores, but there won't be any videos for a couple of weeks. But thank you very much. All the best in the One Day Cup. How's that?